Hi there, my name's Jason Williams, and in this video I am going to make a fire pit slash barbecue out of this old truck rim. It's a spider rim. Well, it's 600 mils diameter, 400 mils deep, and I'm going to make a fire pit using scrap. Like, you know, the rim cost me $80, but everything else is going to be free because it's all scrap I've got left over from things in the past. And so I'm going to get straight into this. Hopefully, you know, it's as you can tell, I'm rugged up. The recording of this video is in winter. I don't know when the video is going to come out. It's probably going to be summer, but either way. So let's make this. I've got plenty of ideas. I'm just going to figure it out as I go. All right, first part is to I'm going to do 3 legs on it because it's easiest to keep sort of stable like a tripod, and I'll mark out where my first leg's going to be, and then you know, I could measure it around and do all that and then calculate it, but I'm like, nah, as if I'm going to do that. So what I'm going to do, this rod's 510 mil long, I think. I'm just going to go from there and see how. That's definitely not going to work. So what I can do, very easy way to do this, is chuck a couple of magnets in and just go measure from point to point. That's 480 mil. From that point to that point, and I'll try to get this one the same, 480, and just roughly, and then just check between the two here till I can get 480. That is 500. So I should sneak that out a little bit. Sneak that out to, what do we got there? 485. And just roughly, that is 490. So a smidgen more. Just, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect, but hey, why not? That's 490 there. 495. 495, 485. If I bring that one in, that's at 5 mils, so that's 485. You idiot. Not a very strong magnet, is it? Must be just a cheap one. It is. I know it is. 495 or 490. We got 485. No, I should just quit at that. 485. I'll just go with that. Doesn't have to be perfect. What am I doing? Being silly. All right. All right, since this is going to be made out of just scrap, I've got to now work out how long. I've got scrap in there. I've got to work out how long I I want them, because if I weld it to that part of the rim, I can weld on there and on there, because I need them fairly strong. So if I go 150, gives me a bit over 100 mil. If I make it 300, yep, magic length, I think 250 maybe. Nah, 300 it's gonna be. Legs are 300. I've got some scrap there. I'm just gonna measure and mark and cut them, and yeah, begin this and then straighten them all out. Well, you know, I'll set them in position, clean off the bit of paint, weld them on, but yeah, you'll see how that goes. Alright, so as you can see, I ground off a bit of paint where I marked it. I ground off a little bit of paint there because I don't think the weld will burn through the paint that's on the rim, but it will burn through the gouge. Alright, and as long as I've got these roughly around the same, the magnets kind of holding them, but not really. Just sort of line them up, I'll tack them on and get them much closer to where I want them. Alright. Hold run. 1, 3, A. Yep, that's about right. And here we go, right? That's it. One tack, roughly where I want it. Nope, you do not want to stick. Try that again. Better sound. If you can stop shaking so much, Jason, that'd be good. Oh. What a annoying little spot to get to. Nope. That is not behaving at all. Let's try from this angle. That's better. Oh, come on. Didn't even stick. Well, that's about right. The line's about right. Let's do the easy bit. Okay. Hotter. That's better. Do it hotter, Jace. Again, line's right. And height's right. Line's okay, I suppose. Height. Can't see. That's right. All right. Magnets can come off. I'll just go around and, check this over and over. I've got 155. We've got 160. 160. Is that 155, was it? Yep, 155, 157. Close enough. Ooh. Now I guess I can. They all look relatively straight. Not great. Could have done better. But it can be welded out now. Wonder. Might go 1 force B. One is on 2. 3. I'll go up in the wire speed. Try that. Alright, with those welded out thoroughly, they're a little bit warm, But now I'll put it on its end so that I can measure and cut off these legs. I've got to put it over on its feet, mark them, flip it back over, cut them off. Bit of a messing around, but I'll get there. Make sure that's still in the right spot for the camera. Yep. First time to sit on its feet. Oh, is that going to be a nice height? Yeah, I think so. Just sit down next to it, fire roaring, nice and hot. Yeah, that'll be fine. Alright, now that it's there, I can get something and mark these feet. Alright, with it flipped back over on its feet, I'll mark along here, and that will get me flat, and I'll mark all of these the same way. Oops, probably shouldn't do it that. What I might do is do it like that, yeah. And I'll do that all the way around, and I'll flip it up and cut them off and flip them back over again. Alright, so the feet are cut nicely like that. I've got a weld plates on there. I realise what am I what am I doing? Anyway, so from there, the next step is to actually build the grate that goes in the middle here, which I've actually got some old grid mesh out the back that I should cut up. It's 500mm across, the exact diameter for the grate, and I'll show you a technique for getting that in there, in the sense that I've got a lip here, but I want to sit down on this second lip down. So how do I get past that? I'm not going to cut any of that out. I'm going to manipulate that, cut it, and then make it so it slots in. Alright, go find the grid mesh. Alright, so I've cut this out 500 by 500. Now I've got to make it round. So, oops, in order to do that, I did mark where the center is roughly. And this will be a bit interesting, but I'll figure it out. And the where I want to mark is 250 being the center. And so I'll just go along and mark. I could do this with a piece of string, but I couldn't tie it in the exact right spot. And anyway, I'll endeavour to figure it out. Just go 250 at a time, each one.
I'm guessing a little bit, but I'm sure I'll get there. I'll do this all the way around at 250 till I get my circle mark. A little bit of guessing down on here, but no. Seems to be fine. So which one?
earplugs in, face shield. Alright, with that cut, you know, it sits in there straight on there, but that's not what I want. I've got to figure out, make sure I can decipher a technique where this can slot in, or do I have to cut it in half to make it fit? I might have to do that. I think I'll try a couple of little different directions here. Because every way I look at it, yep, needs to be in half, which will be sight a lot easier. So I'll just maybe I'll just cut one section off, and then that should work, right? Because then I'll slot it in there and weld it back up. If I cut that off, then I'm not cutting 3 heaps of steel that I don't have to. I couldn't otherwise have to, so might do that. I might just cut this section off and yeah, see how that goes. First piece, I'll see if I can fit that in. Gosh, close. Far out, that's close. I reckon. Yep, that's in. Alright, and this one be easy. Yep. Then I've just got to weld them back together. Then that's my fire grate. I'll have to weld some. These gaps are a bit too big, so I'll weld probably some Rio bar or something across here. I'll show that. But once I weld these up, that's it. That'll be just about done. Awesome. Well, done with the fire pit part before I make the barbecue part, which it'll all make sense as it comes together. Cool. Alright, that'll do that. Yeah. Now, I guess I'm gonna have to try find what kind of Rio bar I've got lying around. See if I can find something that'll work for this. Yeah. Find some bar of some kind. Cool. That's looking really promising. Like, I mean, it's ready to be a fire pit, but no, I think those gaps are too big. Alright, well, going on the theory of, continuing on just using scrap for everything, I found this bit of mesh, and I've got a bit of it. So I assume this will break down, but it'll cover up, like it'll bridge those spots, and then when it breaks down, I can just cut another one, because I've got a bit of it. So, I'm going to just chop it up with a pair of bolt cutters. As long as I get it right. Oh. Maybe I should just use an angle grinder, make it easier. Might do that. This stuff being much lighter, be quite easy to flex into shape to get in there. Oh, easier said than done. Oh. There we go. And that can live in there, offset to it, and it will do its thing. Alright, that's actually ready to be a fire pit now. But I've got to make it a barbecue now, don't I? Wow, that was a strange turn of events. I was going to make a swing around for one of these hot plates. I've got a few of them off old barbecues, and I was going to make a swing around, and then I was like, you know what? I can just put it on there like so, and that can be, I'll let it burn down before I go to cook, make sure it's nice, tuck a little bit of wood in there when I need to, and use a shovel or whichever to remove. Like the whole swing away thing for the barbecue, I'll probably make later, but unfortunately I am suffering pretty badly from the CBFs, and that means I for those who know what that is. And there we go. Time to get this up to the house and have a fire up near the house, and have a fire in it to clean off or to burn off the paint. So as long as I'm nowhere near it or anyone else, I'll just let it tinker away and do its thing. Alright, let's get that up there. Let's see if this works. It's probably just gonna bump off. I've got a pallet there, I should just go get that, but I want to see if I can get this up there really easy. Gentle, gentle. Almost too easy. All right. All right, let's move it into place. Glad it's not overly heavy. I've got this spot here that's actually dirt. I dug a bit of dirt out, chucked rocks in there. That's where the ash is going to fall. Somewhere about there. Doesn't look very level, do you? Yep. Looks a little bit better. I've got these blocks in case I decide I want to put them under the legs. I've got a few there. Got some more. Guess I better light this fire and clean off that old paint. All right. I guess let's get this going. So I can stand back away from it and let the paint do its thing. Alright, that looks pretty easy to burn. Cool. Well, there you go. It's burning, it's doing what it's meant to. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. I'm gonna let that burn, let it clean. The wind's taking the smoke away, so I'm all good. But thank you so much for watching, and I will aspire to see you in the next one. What will that be? Who knows? I don't even know. It's kind of like watching one of my videos is like, what's Chase doing today? Who knows? I will make a swing away Barbie plate later. That's going to be in another video. They do fit on, and yeah, sure, it all works, but I'll see how it goes. And yeah, thanks for watching. I will aspire to see you in the next one. Cheers.